Pahoa Village because, you know, that's the heart of Pahoa. And I certainly wouldn't want to see, you know, the kind of demise of the little sleepy Pahoa town.
Right, right. That brings me to the next question, actually. I guess this sounds like it will take a little bit more work than I had realized, but in Waimea and other parts of the Big Island and all over the states, they have either design districts or historic districts where it's your town is declared to be an historic site, and so therefore, if a new building comes in, they can't just have a huge marquee over where they want, and that really does seem to be this is one of the classic cases where things are being built right at the entrance of Pahoa, which is really a historic, as you said, village is probably a better way to describe this place. So I was wondering if that would be anything that you'd be interested in trying to organize around. Is it preserving the historic nature of Pahoa?
Absolutely, absolutely. And, you know, I have to believe that the Downtown Pahoa Business Association has some kind of ideas for this.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I would absolutely support that. You know that there's funding available for certain historical sites, buildings, you know, even scenic, you know, what they call the scenic views. So, you know, of course, I would be behind that.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, I think the most important and immediate thing that can happen is that there could be some signage. That would be the most simplest, and maybe some kind of education, maybe pamphlets or something at the Woodland Center, you know, stores and at the Malama Market stores, just to let people know that, you know, a sign maybe that says Pahoa Village, you know,
right.
this way, you know, something, some incentive for people to invite people in.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, are there other issues that I haven't mentioned that you're hearing over and over again from constituents? Are people worried about new police station and the crime or anything like that?
Crime is probably the highest. Yeah, crime is probably the highest, and I have to agree that it's very sad when you are, or when your community is in an evacuation situation and houses get robbed. You know, I'm feeling like there should be enhanced sentencing for situations like that. I was just appalled to find out that when we had the tsunami scare and areas, the shoreline areas in Lower Kuna, Paradise Park specifically, was evacuated, there were people that managed to get in around the roadblocks and the police and the civil defense and everything else and actually rob houses. So, you know, that was just one situation. It's a daily thing. You know, we have lots of coastal areas where the tourists come with their cars and, you know, park to have a nice day at the beach or whatever have you, and their cars get broken into. So crime is a big thing. But I really relate crime with the lack of opportunities for our youth out there. I really seriously do. A lot of the crime is probably need-based. I mean, they probably have a need for money, you know, if it's for food, for drugs, for alcohol, whatever it's for. But I think that there's a certain amount of crime that's being committed just in the name of boredom.
Mm-hmm. What's your stance on marijuana? Do you think it makes kids into career criminals, or do you think it's not a very dangerous subject?
I don't think marijuana makes kids into career criminals. No, absolutely not. I personally believe in the philosophy of harm reduction, and that is kind of meeting people where they are and kind of helping them where they are. If it's a marijuana user, you know, now, if we demonize him and treat him in a way that he's going to have to feel like he has to hide or cheat or lie, then we're not helping them at all. if we understand that they use marijuana, if it's for pain, if it's for escape, you know, whatever it's for, that's them and that's what they do, then we can kind of meet them at that level, not demonize them, not judge them. So I think that meeting people where they are, working with them where they are, I think that's very important. I think the worst thing about it is the lies that we're telling kids. I think that, you know, I have 5 kids myself, and lying to children is never good. Kids are way smarter than we give them credit for, and eventually they find out themselves, and then they become this person who thinks that they have to lie, cheat, steal, hide, you know, to do these things that are, it's questionable if they're harmful or not, okay? I do not support legalizing marijuana, though. I do not support legalizing marijuana. I would support decriminalizing marijuana. I don't think that a person who's growing a few plants at his home for his own personal use should be jailed for that. I think that we should and could keep people out of jail for these really, really minor marijuana offenses. But I would not want to see it legalized to the point where people could just grow unlimited amounts, buy, sell, and trade unlimited amounts. I think that a little bit for personal use is okay. But I do not advocate it for children, even sick children. I'm just saying, you know, especially teenagers. There are so many worse things out there, and we just should be telling the truth.
And this one about the county council, there was a bit of a problem with this whole sunshine law recently in the county council. How do you feel the level of transparency is going in terms of the county council? Do you have an opinion on what could be improved? Or?
Well, although the sunshine law is, quote, end quote, a law, it's one of those things that's really based on the honor system. So it's only going to work for people with integrity to begin with. So it doesn't matter if we have a sunshine law. It doesn't matter what the possible repercussions for violating it's going to be. If you have unethical people, you're going to have those continued practices no matter how many laws you have, no matter how many lights are on, no matter how many people are watching. Because the truth is that we can't see everything. And, you know, when 2 or more of the council members get together and talk about stuff that they're going to vote on, we're not always there. If they pick up the phone and they call each other in a serial communication, that's a violation and nobody's there. And I can tell you that with unethical people, these things happen all the time.
Next one on a global level, what say you of the Iraq and Afghanistan wars?
I say, bring our boys home. My God. I say, bring our boys home. I'm so serious. I mean, it's just unbelievable that we even went in the first place. But it's incredible amounts of money, resources that's being spent over there. I mean, our people are dying. We had servicemen die before the first bullets were even shot. You know, when you have that many people moving around, that much equipment moving around, there's going to be just accidents are going to happen. So it's even before you even set the stage for war, things are going to happen. The same thing is true when we bring our guys home. That's not going to happen quick. It's not going to be bloodless. You know, it's not going to be cheap, and it's not going to be quick. So we need to start doing it now. You know, I think that we're going to start seeing that more and more. There was an announcement that some of the other countries are pulling their forces out, and, you know, we'll just have to take our chances and see what happens in our absence, but we absolutely need to get the hell out of there.
Right on. How about GMOs? What is your stance on genetically modified organisms?
I don't like them. Haven't met a GMO that I liked yet. No, but seriously, they're dangerous. They're risky. And why would we want to even take the chance at all. We wouldn't and we shouldn't, and it's just wrong. There are so many other places that are so much more appropriate. I mean, wouldn't they want to test these things in places that have all 4 seasons, maybe? I don't know. We don't need them here. They're dangerous, and we should not have them here.
Right on. And the last question I have, what do you say about homosexuals, gay people? Do you think that they deserve the same rights as everyone, or is there a caveat?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love gay people. I'm related to gay people. Yeah, absolutely. To me, it's not gay or lesbian rights. To me, it's human rights. It's just absolutely absurd that that we're still having this discussion in this day and time. I mean, you know, my God, we have a black president.
Because Linda Lingle recently vetoed the civil unions type thing, right?
444.
It sounds like you see this more as really a civil rights issue.
It really is. It's a human rights issue.
Right.
It's just a basic right that all people should have. And it's just ridiculous. I can't believe it. You know, when I explain it to young kids, to children who don't even understand, you know, they're almost in tears like I am. It's ridiculous, and it's time that we step out of the cave, seriously.
Right on. Well, great. I think that does it for these questions. Could you remind everyone when they got to get out to vote?
That'd definitely be September 18th. I'm planning on taking it in the primary, and if I do, I can start work in September.
Well, we really appreciate you being here, and wish you luck, as well as all the other candidates too. And I want to thank you for being on this video. Big time.
Thank you. Aloha.